Welcome to our new episode of Global Movement Project, where we feature and bring some of the really great professionals, and also we aim to break biases for those individuals who are struggling to challenge themselves because of their fear of challenges or self consciousness or self doubt. In this episode, we are going to talk about how to become a global marketing agency CEO, the journey from Egypt to Aya. Actually, we connected a few months back then, and then when we had an initial conversation together, it was actually so inspiring to hear from our the transition moment from pharmacy students to marketing agency CEO. And actually, it hit me in a way because I was also a dental hygienist back then, and then became a marketing agency CEO. So that is why maybe we can talk about a lot of things together. So why not? So that is why we are here. I invited her to our show. This is fourth episode so far. So yeah, hi Aya, how are you?
Hi, and thank you so much for having me. I think we related a lot to each other's stories, and I think it's great we get to share it with everyone.
Right? I mean, how we can have really mutual background together. Like it was so like interesting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
and
then
and we came from like very different parts of the world, so it's really interesting
so
to see
amazing.
same stories just happening across the world.
Mm, I obviously know what you do for sure, but maybe our audience don't know about you really a lot. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit more, and then talk about what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Aya. I'm CEO of Vivian Agency. We are a boutique global women only agency. We help brands connect with affiliates, influencers. We basically set up and launch and grow their affiliate and influencer marketing programs, and then anything else that relates to affiliates and influencers like sponsorships, user generated content, and also on the other hand B2B partnerships. So we're very versatile when it comes to partnerships, but our main focus is building profits to businesses with performance based and influencer programs.
Interesting. So your agency is only with women at this point. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Wow.
Yes,
Because
that's correct.
yeah, because for me, I also have my team members from Japan and English speaking markets and Korea. Our main team members are also women, and
Yeah.
they are so great about coming up with these new ideas. Of course, we also collaborate with men, but anyway, this is actually similar area that we are having right now. So, um, by the way, I know we talked about this before. So from your pharmacy students to marketing agency CEO. So what inspired you to pivot from pharmacy student to becoming a global marketing agency CEO?
Yeah, I honestly don't think there was like a specific situation that made me turn routes. However, I think I've always known since joining pharmacy college is that this is not really for me. It's not something that I'm gonna be good at studying it. I might be good at doing it, but I'm not gonna enjoy doing it. So that has always been my thought since the first year of college. And initially, I didn't think that I was gonna be able to pivot my whole career. And the 5 years I spent in college, it seemed that it's so far away and it's so hard to achieve. But I feel like I continued in college. I finished my pharmacy degree, but I always still had that feeling of, no, that's not really for me. And yeah, I started getting more clients, and then I joined the agency. And I think when I joined Vivian Agency is when I made my decision 100% that I genuinely do not want to do anything that's related to pharmacy and want to do something that's related to marketing. So I think that was like when I was sure 100% that I'm not going to go back to revisiting any pharmacy opportunities.
Interesting. Because I really relate to this because back then, in when I was in high school, I really wanted to become a marketer, but I just didn't know how to do that, you know, like, but from your perspective, and then in your college time, you probably had this opportunity to work with some of the clients back then. So that is why you were able to, you know, specialize in influencer marketing, I guess. I remember you talked about this, right?
Yes, I actually started with very, very traditional marketing in college. So, first year in college, or I think second year, I was just doing telemarketing, so very traditional marketing in an outsourcing company. And I grew into becoming a quality assurance officer. And then I decided to step away completely from working in an office. Also, COVID played a huge role into that. You can't really go back into the office after you've stayed and worked from home, especially when the job doesn't really require you to. So after that, I started building up my freelance credentials, my freelance accounts, and building up my knowledge more, and kind of flow from there.
Exactly. I mean, it's not going to be like overnight success for sure. Like you just have this client and then you can actually open the agency like over time. So I truly believe that it's incremental journey from you. Like there are a lot of layers together, and then finally you are doing this as a CEO, right?
Yeah, I think also the team at the agency and Enelin, the founder of the agency, has created a very great environment that really allows you to learn whatever you want to learn, really allows you to develop. And also she gives a lot of opportunities. I think I was very lucky to have a mentor like her who was very open to just transfer all her knowledge and all her experience to someone else so they can do what she did. And it's something that I hugely appreciate. It was one of the main things that provided me the confidence. Okay, I can step away from everything that I studied and do what I actually like.
So you mean that the mentor was the founder? Is that correct?
Of it, yes. So Enelin, my mentor and also the founder of Vivian Agency, and she gave me the opportunity to be the CEO as well. So yeah.
Ah, amazing. So probably initially, oh, sorry, something's going on. Anyway, probably, is that everything okay?
Nope, all good. I think
Yeah,
headphones is disconnected or something, but all good.
yeah. Okay, okay. So, okay,
Yeah.
my question was, my question was, probably back then you were not the CEO yet, like something like just influencer marketer, or you do, I don't know, the other traditional marketing area. And then over time, she saw you, oh, she's different. And then maybe we can give it a try and then become her making this position with you at the same time so that we can actually increase more revenue at the same time. I'm wondering, like, the founder, I guess, is she also from your country, or is she has, okay, different background, right?
Yeah, completely different background. She's originally from Estonia, and she started the agency essentially, and we're women only because she wanted to offer fair pay to everyone, no gaps in salaries like we see in traditional jobs, and for women to be able to have a flexible schedule, successful careers, and also live their lives, whether they're travelers, have families, and or anything else, basically.
So yeah, I mean, probably your team also has some diversity there. It's not going to be like, oh, Egyptian and then, you know, like just one country. So is
No.
this diversity related model helps you so much? Like maybe you can have these new or creative areas in your marketing, and then you can even propose the different area to your client. Was it there any like benefit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think or the diversity within the team, and that we all come from very different backgrounds, very different experiences, very different stories, really allows us to stand out among a lot of other agencies. because we're able to adapt really well. We're able to bring creative ideas and things that come from different culture or from us being very global and being exposed to a lot of things, and seeing campaigns that may have performed in specific markets, but people are too scared to try it in other markets just because of the differences. So I think this has made us very adaptable with very unique perspectives, and it's such a blast working with the team and seeing their ideas come in and seeing how they go out of their way to do something very creative for clients. So yeah, I think this has definitely had a positive impact among us, and it is so enjoyable to be able to work in a global team. Most of my team, I was very lucky. Most of my team was able to make it to my wedding, and I got to finally meet them in person, put faces to the Slack
Oh,
avatars, and spend such a special moment in my life with them as well. So it is amazing.
was it your first time meeting offline together in person or?
Yes.
Ah,
I
nice.
So we have other team members from Egypt, and of course we get to meet. But all the other team members who are not from Egypt, I never got to meet them before, and I've worked with them for a couple of years now. So it was really nice to get to see everyone.
That's so lovely. Like I cannot imagine like because for me as well, like there is a team member that I haven't really met in person. It's just we connected online and then we hired, all of that. So if I can imagine meeting them in person, like wow. That's so
Yeah,
like wonderful. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very unique experience, and I always imagined in my head what this meeting would look like, or how it's gonna go. Are we gonna be able to do a conversation like we do at work every day? And yes, it was super easy, and yeah, it's been great.
Right. Then I believe that there may be a challenge as a CEO, right? Because it's a top position where you have to lead your team members at the same time, and then you also probably coordinate between the client relationship and then your team members. So, is there any unique challenges you faced climbing to CEO level while being based in your own country? I know you are traveling a lot, but yeah.
I think my main challenge was actually to get the confidence to be able to step into that position, because I don't think if the position, and also of course I was very lucky to have a team and a founder who is willing to teach and mentor, and have people grow in their positions and step up. But also, I think the self confidence was one of the biggest challenges. Am I going to be good enough? Do I have enough experience? Am I going to be able to deal with global clients? Am I going to be able to handle those client relationships? They are a very big responsibility. Am I going to be able to lead the team and keep everyone united and working together? So I think all these questions and self doubts were the main challenges in the beginning. But I think by it more, I think I've learned marketing, and especially digital marketing, my whole life by doing it, rather than just yeah, certifications or courses. Of course it is
Right.
complemented by certifications or courses, but I think you don't really know how to do something unless you try to do it. So a lot of doing and trial and error, and also having a supportive environment were very helpful to move on from these challenges. But definitely the self confidence and the self doubt challenges were the most.
So, how long have you been in your position so far? Is it like I haven't looked at your profile, so
So I've been CEO for almost a year. So I think in January or February, it's going to be a year. Before that, I was a project manager at Vivian Agency. And then I also was responsible for client relationships and then moved into CEO.
right. Oh, amazing. So, I mean, the confidence itself that is kind of, I mean, it's kind of influencing us a lot, really, because back then when I actually started my business alone, I just feel like I'm still freelancer. What should I do? And then over time, like you have extensive experience, and then finally maybe even if you actually feel this imposter syndrome a lot, like oh okay I have this position, but anyway, I'm doing this, and then I don't know, like, is this revenue make sense? Like, am I really calling myself CEO? Like, I don't know what to do. So sometimes, like, I even delete my position, like a CEO, just naming that, like, okay, I'm just the founder of blah blah blah. Like, I can say that, but am I really CEO? Do you know that feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think every single day, anyone in any position have the same doubts. It's just a little bit enhanced because of the responsibility of the position, because you're not only responsible for tasks or for milestones, you're actually responsible for the client relationships and also maintaining the team and keeping them happy and making sure that also everyone does their job right. So I think overall, it's just a thought in the back of your head. Don't let it stop you, honestly, because it did turn out to be only a thought.
Right. I mean, I guess that once we have this position and then everything is just helping us to become that position, I believe actually in that. So
Yeah,
instead of thinking about like, oh, I want to become that person, we initially just set this up like, okay, I'm the person and then we're going to figure this out. So I
yeah,
guess maybe in your early career, even if you feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm not that confident, but you got this position already, so you have to really learn like what to do about it. So I guess,
yeah.
yeah, that's something that we can also think about too. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and I think a lot of
Mhm.
the imposter syndrome comes from the feeling or the thought that you have to be like this person or that person. But honestly,
Mhm.
you could be your own version of that position, something that adapts to what your job actually requires and also that still feels like yourself.
That's actually a great tip. Actually, like we can actually make our own version of how what type of entrepreneur we want to become, or what
Yes.
type of CEO we want to become. So it's not about the company size or employees number of employees, but it's more
Yeah.
about like how we can name ourselves. Like what's the strategy that we position ourselves to. And
Yeah,
then
agree.
heading to the next question. So, is there any like cultural or geographical barriers when working with international teams and clients? Because you have to maybe juggle with a lot of time zones, or like they have different culture background, and then we haven't really figured out yet, like all of those.
So I think one thing that I really appreciate about the agency and the team is us having very solid systems on how to navigate these things. So our meetings are always pre-booked in advance, so that it can coordinate with everyone's time zones. We always have a certain window to respond internally and also to respond to clients, and we make the clients aware of that as well whenever when we're onboarding, and they always know what our time zones are, and the time frame of everything, so that things are easier, flexible. We work independently and then are able to meet the deadlines because we already set the stage up for the client to know the timeline of everything, of what we're going to do,
Mhm.
also our availability. We have the pre-booked calls, when should they expect a reply on anything from us, and so on. So I think this really helps navigate those challenges. Of course, it is bound to happen, for a time zone change to ruin a meeting time, and these small things that happen every time the time
Mhm.
changes somewhere in the world. But other than that, I think we've got it pretty figured out. When it comes to cultural differences, I think as an Egyptian, we're very diverse within ourselves.
Mhm.
I think that made me very adaptable, and I think it provided me with flexibility to be able to deal with everyone no matter where they come from, and to be always understanding that we're very different people. We're not going to do things the same. We need to meet somewhere in the middle, and so on. And I think this really helps navigate any cultural differences.
So you mean that Egyptian is in general like very open-minded and then diverse, like
Um,
uh-huh.
I'd say I'd say we First of all, tourism is really big for Egypt, so we deal with a lot of foreign nationalities all the time. More recently, we've also starting seeing more digital nomads come in, some expats as well. So this really creates a diversity within us. We're also very different. I feel like there is not one family that is exactly the same as the other. Even within families, like a smaller family is not really like the other small family within the bigger family. So I think we're pretty diverse when it comes to that. And personally, for me, my takeaway from this is to always be open minded, always to be accepting to people, and also learned how to navigate those differences in general, because one very important part with client relationships is being flexible and being understanding, and kind of also putting yourself in the client's shoes so that you're able to see from their perspective and then kind of solve any issues or any differences through that.
Mhm. I mean, it's interesting. I actually haven't visited Egypt yet, but it's actually good to know that they're diverse and then probably open-minded. And then digital nomad is kind of something that they actually, I don't know, want to become at some point. And also foreigners come there. Foreigners go there, and then they can actually
Yeah.
give some other influences to your country at the same time. Maybe that is why, like, it's interesting because Korean, if I can talk about my country, Korea,
Absolutely.
it's kind of like we have this one type of format, and then it's not about the strict rule, but we have these similar perspectives in a way. Like, it's not really about like big country here. Maybe that is why I'm not too sure like how big your country is. And then like I didn't actually look at the history so far, but yeah, it's actually interesting to hear from you that, yeah, the different perspective for sure.
Yeah, I
And
mean, we're
mhm,
116 million people, so it's bound we have diversity within that.
that makes sense now. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, then. Oh, yeah. So you mentioned that, yeah, you have this system in your agency, so that is why it's not really hard to juggle all of the different time zones or different cultural perspectives. And actually, when I had this, let's say, the US client, because in Korea and the US has a huge time zone difference. So if I have to have this phone call or meeting with them, it's gonna be like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. But for you, I guess it's a middle time zone, something like it's not really Korea or it's not about the US. So you have this, yeah, in Europe, Estonia, and then Egypt. So that
Yeah.
is why it's so manageable, I guess. Do you mean that like your team has different time zones and then they just work 9 to, let's say, 6, and then once they finish their work, and then the other person can take other time zone, so it's gonna be like 24 hours?
Actually, we offer flexible working schedules, so everyone can work on their own time, with the condition that they are available for a couple hours a day where they overlap with other team members that they need to directly collaborate with on projects. But we do have flexible working hours. I'm more of a morning person. I like working in the mornings more. I have other team members who are more night owls. They prefer working at night or they have other commitments. So I think that what makes things work is the flexibility with certain rules. Everyone knows that the flexibility is conditioned with them being self-disciplined and independent, and I think this really creates a good environment. I think the team is very independent over their tasks. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do here and there, and when they're supposed to hand that over, and I think this makes things a lot easier, run more smoothly.
Interesting, because
And
for
also,
me.
by the way, regarding time zones, we have a client in Hong Kong, for example. So their end of day is like morning time for us. So they're wrapping up when we're just starting to work in Europe, in Egypt and in Europe. But we managed to find times that overlap, and we make it work. We also have clients in the US, in Europe, and we did have clients with really big time zone gaps as well. But I think we managed to make it work. Something always that is super early in the morning or maybe later at night will definitely overlap.
Amazing. I mean, for me, I think every agency has a different style for sure. But
Yeah.
for us, if we can actually stick to just one time zone, let's say Korea, like we are gonna follow this Korea time zone, and then outside of that, we are gonna answer within 24 hours, in working hours. So
Yeah.
that I can actually protect our team members, don't have to really reply to clients all the time, but I guess your
Yes.
clients really will love about your flexibility because it's more of like you cover all of that, right?
Exactly. And then also, our team would reply within 24 business hours if the message happened to fall outside of their own working hours. If they're online and they're working, they can reply, but they don't have to because they still have the 24 business hour window. So this maintains fast responses to the clients, and they already know that this is the window for answers in general. Same thing internally. If I ask someone for something, unless it's super urgent, I know that the window for them to get back to me is 24 business hours and so on. And then on the other hand, this also helps us maintain that the team has a work-life balance. They're able to do things on their own terms.
Yeah, I mean, every agency has a different style, so I believe
Yeah,
that your clients really love about your system, I guess. Anyway,
yeah.
so we already talked about like how Egyptian is diverse, and then kind of like becoming emerging markets at the same time. So how do you actually incorporate your Egyptian identity or Egyptian culture insights into marketing strategies for global clients? I understand that you actually had experience in global marketing for sure back then in your college time, but probably you have a unique background too. So maybe you can have, I don't know, like Egyptian insights into influencer marketing or affiliate marketing, and then you have unique selling point than other competitors. Yeah, share with us.
I wouldn't say that there is something that is super specific about my culture that I'm currently using in marketing, just because with marketing, campaigns have to be very specific, very targeted in order for them to work. So I wouldn't. I know that if I run a campaign in the Egyptian market, then here I can incorporate my culture, but it doesn't work
Mm,
maybe the same way. However, I would say one thing I take from being Egyptian is me being flexible, and also being adaptable. I think these are two things 99% of Egyptians are really good at. And I think when these two are applied into marketing, the flexibility of pivoting ideas, getting creative, if something doesn't work, you just move on to the next thing and so on. I think this impacts our clients' campaigns very positively overall. So I think these two characteristics, which don't necessarily have to come from everyone's culture, but I
right.
think for me, this is something that I think has impacted my working style as well.
Uh, then, what do you think about your agency's unique selling point in your perspective? Like, for me, what I do is helping international brands tap into Korea and Japan and beyond. So that is about like a localization part, and then performance marketing layers too. So I was wondering, do you actually structure the sales strategies or marketing strategies at the same time?
I think so our unique selling points that I think one thing that makes us stand out among everyone else is the diverse nature of the team already, which makes them really able to work with anyone, and just adapt. Also, this diversity in backgrounds resulted in us being able to reach out to affiliates and influencers in all languages, breaking language barriers, being able to build relationships with a lot of people around the world. So I think the diverse nature is a very unique selling point for us. And then also because we have, we it's not that we've built a campaign and then we're applying the same logic to everyone. It's more that we build unique campaigns for everyone. Every client that comes in has their own strategy, has their own recommendations. They have their own tailored process on how to acquire partners, who to actually target. So I think the tailoring and handpicking people that we reach out to, forming the right partnerships, focusing on quality versus quantity and mass outreach are very important to us. And I think this contributes to our client retention a lot, because when client relationships and partnerships in general are built on quality rather than just tons and tons of people that you just aren't able to manage or get a hold of. It's just so much better. And these are the types of partnerships that stay for years and are very successful and continue to grow exponentially.
So I believe that the founded year, probably back then a few years ago, the Vivian Agency founded it. I don't know what year is, but anyway, it could be about like few years ago, right? So
Yes.
previously, maybe when you actually jumped in, the client basis was kind of solid, and then maybe you could expand the client based on the strategies that you have. Is it correct?
I'd say we're consistently building our client bases, and I think over the years, and it's something that also our founder really encourages us to do, is to explore different niches, things that we haven't been working before, learn what to do in these niches, and so on. Because again, the unique perspective that is provided for each client is very important, and it is one of our unique selling points. So overall, I think our globalization and us growing more lies within us being able to work in more niches and also expanding our client base in that. But we have been in consistent expansion of our client base, the niches we're working in over the last couple of years, absolutely.
So I'm trying to understand your specialty here. So, for example, let's say they are running consumer brands and then they want to hire influencers like or all over the world, let's like the US, like France, like like Estonia, Egypt. Maybe then because of your diversity have in your team, they can actually go to all of the accounts and then find that the great partnerships together. Is that how it works?
Yes, in simple terms, yes, this is how it works. We're also able to, for example, we have a couple of global brands where some of the target markets are French speaking. And usually when you reach out in English to French speaking markets, you don't get good reply rates. So when we started reaching out in their native language, it worked out so much better. Same thing, actually, we had another brand which was all over Europe. And I think we've had maybe 10 different email campaigns, everyone in the influencer's native language. And I think this resulted in extremely high reply rates. It was over 50%, really high onboarding rates as well. So I think that's a very important factor as well, absolutely.
Then what marketing strategies have proven most effective for your agency's global success at the same time?
Since we mainly manage affiliate and influencer partnerships, I am very biased and will absolutely say affiliates and influencers. But the reason why I say this is no matter where you go in the world, your buying intent and your buying decisions are heavily influenced by people you trust, by people you love, and by people you look up to. And influencers are mostly that. So it's either that is someone you really like, you love their aesthetic, you love their content, and you enjoy it, or it's someone you look up to, you see where they are in life, and you really want to be like them. And you could also just trust their opinion because they're experts in that specific field or in this niche of products and so on. So no matter where you are in the world, this is still going to work. And that's why I think affiliate and influencer marketing works globally, and it does work with a lot of different brands, different niches, whether they are also B2C and B2B. Affiliate and influencer marketing is very underutilized in B2B marketing, by the way.
But Then you're telling me that it's also working for your agency's global success too. Is that correct? I mean, for your lead gen system. Uh-huh.
I'd say yes, because we do get a lot of business from referrals. So
Mm-hmm.
people that are trusted by other people. So referral concept still applies here. Of course, as an agency, the types of partners are different. So not necessarily influencers, your typical Instagram influencers, but more industry experts, more podcasts, more articles, more blogs, more high regarded publishers, and so on. But yeah, the same concept still applies absolutely.
Because once they actually see you, like let's say you are in this podcast and then you talk about this influencer marketing, and then maybe that is how it works. Like, oh, I actually saw you in this podcast, and then I'd love to work with you. Maybe it's how
Yeah.
it works for you as well, right?
Exactly. It's kind of the way it works because we, for example, get a lot of potential business from SEO, for example, someone who read about us in an article or saw me or Annalyn on a podcast or any other team member as well. So I think, yeah, it is the exact same concept because you saw us in content form and then you decided to come and explore our service or buy the service that we provide. So yeah, the concept still applies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is actually interesting because we have very similar legion system going on to like podcast or our blog or articles or LinkedIn newsletter or even our YouTube videos because that is actually how it works in SEO, like search engine optimization. And then yeah, we actually if we can actually conquer the keyword at the same time, that is how we can actually get the additional lead at the same time. So I'm so glad to know that you have this similar system at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's the best way for people to get to know you is through visibility and content. So that's why that has been our main approach to be able to drive more visibility to the agency, get more clients, and so on.
Got it. And then, is there any other strategies that you didn't mention for client retention and expanding accounts? Maybe it could be about your beautiful outreach campaigns, or it could be about the other way around, like you have this networking system going on, and then you continuously get these referrals.
Yeah, I think there are two strategies. When I say them, they're gonna sound very easy, but or very, I'd say, obvious. But this is the core of maintaining client retention. So I'd say the first thing first is to have clear KPIs and goals from the client, so you know what you're actually working towards.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we get clients who are mainly focused on brand awareness. They want the visibility. Sales and conversions are not the top priority for now. And then on the other hand, we get some clients who sales and conversions and clicks are top priority, regardless of the content, regardless of who promoting them, and so on. And we get clients who are a mix of both or have completely different goals of those campaigns, like pushing a certain product or just having user generated content from influencers and so on. So overall, I think knowing what your client is working towards and aligning on that is very important in their retention, because if you're working towards a different goal or something that you have assumed, um, there probably would be a point where the client says, nope, that's not aligning with what I'm looking for, and they leave. So one thing is aligning on the client goals and KPIs and what's important to them. The second thing would be to put the work and have them see the results of this as soon as possible, which is something that is very challenging to do with affiliate marketing, because sometimes it takes time for content to come up and for people to respond and create the content and test the product and do all of these steps. So trying to have very solid systems in place so that this process can flow as fast and effective as possible, and also showcasing the client that the campaigns are going in the right direction and are moving towards the goals that they have set. So I think these two things are the most important when you're trying to maintain clients or get them to expand. And we had a lot of clients who started with us at part-time packages, 20 hours per week. Now they're at 60 hours per week packages and 80-hour per week packages because they have seen the impact that 20 hours does. Then how about 40 and 60? And they continue to see the impact for that. So that I think that's very important.
Right, like the clear communication before jumping into the collaboration, that is actually key, right? Creating the right proposal for them. Of course, like in the beginning, you can propose, okay, this is better than this KPI. You can maybe you can maybe persuade them to do this. But if it's not about mutual agreement, then maybe you can actually lose the client at the same time. I really agree with that. So
Yeah, and also setting realistic expectations because sometimes a client would jokingly, and they're just started, they're a new brand and they just started their affiliate program, and they would put a really, really big sales number that wouldn't make sense with their conversion rates or and so on. So also making
absolutely.
sure that the expectations you agree on are actually realistic, and you need to tell them why this is realistic and this is unrealistic.
Because over time we are not really realizing that client relationship is also relationship, and also the communication part. So if we just forget this really important part, yeah, you can actually lose money and clients and then your agency too, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I actually wanted to actually ask this earlier, but I forgot instantly. So I'm just gonna ask this for you. So do you feel like you were project manager before being a global agency owner? Sorry, global agency CEO. So is there any very huge difference between the manager as a manager and then being a CEO, or is it just similar and then you just have more expectations and then more probably clients you have to manage, just maybe scope of work just has been improved, maybe pretty much about it, because a project manager can be playing a similar role like a CEO sometime, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we structure it at Vivian Agency is that the project manager means that she manages the client projects or the client campaigns. So that's the role of the project manager. She is assigned a set of clients for certain hours every week, and she has a marketing assistant as well. My role as CEO has differed from being a project manager because I don't always work hands on the projects anymore, but instead I consult on the strategy. I oversee the project, but the girls do all the legwork when it comes to lead gen negotiations and managing the campaign day to day. So my scope has definitely changed into being client facing all the time, doing sales calls, doing marketing things like appearing on podcasts and so on, and also maintaining client retention just from a higher level perspective.
Mm, got it. So, yeah, definitely there should be a change for sure. Like being a project manager or CEO has different levels. So I guess that is how it works. And then we are talking about global movement project here. So do you have any advice you want to give to professionals, especially from emerging markets, aiming to reach CEO level in global agencies or service businesses?
Um, I know it might sound cliche, but please don't doubt yourself. You coming from a certain background is not a blocker for you to become on a C-level opportunity in a business, or even creating or managing your own business and becoming a global entrepreneur. So this it doesn't have to be a negative thing that you are from an emerging market. Your knowledge, your experience are what matters the most, and your self confidence, being able to sell your own experience and services to everyone out there, no matter where you're from. And honestly, if you do some deep diving and think about it, you'll find that your background actually has more positive impact than negative on you. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. And I really also hope that business owners and everyone who requires products or services from foreign markets to not see this as a blocker and not see this as a
Mm,
setback, because honestly it's not. And we have seen that day to day working with clients and managing their campaigns, even if we've never met before, even if we've never had more than a video call weekly to connect, and it still works amazing. So this has
mm,
no bad impact. You being from another part of the world has no burden on you becoming successful and you becoming C-level and you becoming global entrepreneur.
right. So great to like hear from you about this lesson. Actually, like it's touched me. Like it's so touching, actually. So, but I guess it's actually everything is coming from our own self doubt and then own self barrier. And of course, if you are thinking that I don't think I can make this anyway because I have this barrier, it could be about the language itself. And then they think about I'm coming from this country, maybe I'm not really great enough, but you're saying that expertise always matters most. And then I believe also that how you can position yourself better than other competitors out there, we have to
Yeah.
really look at what kind of things that we can actually sell to online and offline, not about just hiding ourselves and then without ever thinking about like I don't want to really film these TikTok videos because I don't think I'm enough, all of those.
Yeah.
By the way, do you also own your own social media, like you have these TikTok videos going on, or
No, so the agency presence is mostly on LinkedIn, because this
Mm,
is the main social where we connect with clients and other professionals. So our main presence is on LinkedIn, and then just podcast episodes and others. But no, we don't currently have like an active TikTok right now.
okay, I'm so excited for you to have additional social media soon in 2026. I'm so looking forward to that.
Okay,
And
I'll put that into our marketing plan.
right, I'm so excited about this because like having this personal brand and then you are expanding yourself further. Why not? I guess that's actually
Yeah.
great to you. Uh-huh. And any okay, any books and mentors or resources that influenced your career growth? Any recommendations about this?
I would say, of course, I give a lot of credit to Enelin, the founder of Vivian Agency, as my
Mm,
mentor. She's been very impactful in my career journey, from hiring me at the agency, from project manager to team lead to CEO. She's been incredibly supportive and taught me tons and tons of things that I never thought I could learn in such short time as well. Because my journey with Vivian Agency has been for 2 years. So yeah, I never thought I could learn that much in such a short period. And then in regards to resources, I'd say try doing things yourself, because if you don't do it, you don't really know how to do it. But then, of course, there are very popular affiliate networks, books, and courses that you can seek. But don't settle for that. Try to get as much hands-on experience as possible, because that's the breaking point and that's what moves the needle, you having done this before.
I totally agree with you, and especially I also don't have big agency background or the marketing degree at the same time. We are in the same level, and then we started the agency
Yeah.
together. Sorry, you became a CEO. I just switched the
Yeah.
at the same time. So you do you think that of course courses trainings are great, but I believe that having the hands-on experience actually matters most, not about just theory, all of the non-experienced thing. So do you believe that if we can actually have this portfolio without any marketing degrees or like marketing um, courses or certificates, we can become also CEO in marketing agency or other maybe companies that look for the C levels? Do you think it can happen too?
I think it can definitely happen. I would say that not having a marketing degree hasn't been a huge blocker, but it definitely raises the question of why are you here since you've studied pharmacy. But I'd say start with learning by doing and then couple that with official acknowledgement of your expertise by taking courses and obtaining certification from reputable sources. And both coupled together can provide you with that portfolio even if you don't have a marketing degree.
I agree with that because it's more about the results that we can deliver, not about the theory or books that we read. Yeah, all of this. So if you can actually present yourself with, okay, I actually generate this results without any degree, so that is how I actually work with my client, and then like if I can actually deliver this to your business, then it's a win, right? In the beginning, of course, it can be like a free work sometimes, like you deliver this portfolio, yeah, all of that. But over time, you can actually learn how to actually get paid clients, because that happened to me too. And then you also get this experience from college, and then you became the CEO. So I believe that everyone can actually become the one that they want. So I believe in that actually. Then Aya, like what's next for your career and the agency's journey?
So next for my career in the agency, I definitely love to see our team at Vivian Agency grow more and to be able to provide the same opportunities that me and my team members have had to more women out there in the world. Adding more backgrounds, more different cultures as well is very important to us.
Mhm.
And then also expanding our client portfolio and maintaining our existing clients long term. Maintaining existing clients long term is one of our biggest motivator, and even existing clients expanding, and of course expanding our portfolio of clients more globally, more niches, more creative ideas and campaigns.
Right, more success to you, right?
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
in 2026, yeah, it's our year, so yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Every year is
and
our year if we wanted to.
oh, sorry.
Every year is our year if we
Of
wanted
course,
to.
of course. 2025 was also our year, so yeah, we are gonna have additional year for sure.
Yeah.
So I remember you have the special offer for us, right? Like, why don't you go ahead and probably share with us about like the offer? I believe that the free consultation is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the story about the offer actually comes from us seeing like a lot of free guides and freebies and a lot of very generic stuff out there. So we decided to make it personalized and tailored. So our offer basically is that we have a Get My Advice quiz on our website. And if you take a 2-minute quiz with provide us some information about your business, your blockers, how we can, what is the things that you are facing struggles with affiliates and influencer marketing and so on. Our team goes through that information, does very thorough research about your brand, and provides a recorded consultation for your brand on what you can do to improve or even start your affiliate and influencer marketing. So yeah, that's our offer. Hayden, I'm not sure if you're going to be sharing that into the description, or should
Right,
I
it's
go ahead
already
and share?
shared, so yeah, you don't have
Okay,
to
cool.
worry about that. So it's
Okay,
it's gonna
cool.
be it's gonna be no strings attached, right? Even if we don't
Yeah.
buy your services, like it's totally fine. Okay, then.
Yes, it's no strings attached. You get the consultation back within 3 to 5 business days, depending on just how long the team is able to finalize it for you. And yeah, that's about it. No strings attached, nothing.
Okay, yeah, really good to know, everyone. So jump in this book a call thing, and then you're gonna get this free consultation, and then learn more about the affiliate marketing and then influencer marketing together. Because when I had the conversation previously, yeah, her knowledge in this background was really amazing too. Like especially the affiliate marketing, because that is not we are specializing in. So I think you can actually get the benefit about it too. So if everyone doesn't have questions. I think this was all about it. How was this live show for you? Like, was it great experience? Because I know that this is your first time being a live show, right?
Yeah, it is my first time being on live instead of a pre-recorded session, but I had a blast talking to you, and it's really nice to get to share my story with a lot of people that have faced similar struggles, and it's really great to be able also to share about Vivian Agency, the impact that it had, and how also we can help other people. So it's been amazing. Thank you so much again for having me.
Oh, thank you for being on our show too. Like, I was so grateful to, learn more about your story further, and then, all the marketing strategies for sure, like from your agency, and then a bit further the influencer marketing, and then, affiliate marketing at the same time. So I think this was all for today. If you have any questions related about this episode, feel free to leave in the comment below. Me or Aya probably can answer that questions further. Of course, maybe I can just tag her all the time, like, and this is a comment you have, like, you know what I mean. So we will have
Yeah.
additional episode, the episode 5, probably next month. I'm thinking about bringing one of my friends actually, so you can learn from her journey, and at the same time, like how you can actually build your own movement and then your own service businesses together. So thank you for joining everyone, and then I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.